God bless you. I'm Bishop Zamekio Jackson, and I'm excited to be able to come to you today. Listen, my friends, we have had an interesting experience. I remember when we started coming on online through YouTube and getting the word out. We were uploading our messages, and I was probably one of the first guys in the city that really started pushing YouTube and grabbing other preachers and inviting them to preach, just so we could put them online so that the world could hear the gospel message. I didn't know that that would start what we would later evolve into the Inspired Network. We were on television and radio, and we tried it and all those kind of things, and didn't realize that we would land our hat on the place of doing what we call the Inspired Network. It's been a wonderful ride. The Lord has blessed us, and I'm very thankful. Listen, many months ago, I came to you and started talking to you about all of our financial perils and how that we had deficits going on, and it was a rough ride. And I kind of talked about what I went through post my surgery and the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that was spent post-surgery and everything that I went through, and just the life transition and how that church ministry had changed, that after the pandemic, that our church wasn't the same size as it was doing before the pandemic. And I asked for partners and people that loved us to support us. And I want to tell you thank you. I did come back previously and did some posts, but I didn't say to you that helped us, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, my feet were still moving and I was still working on some things, and I was able to structure a deal that will allow another religious institution to take over our current facility. And so I'm excited about that transition. Now, what does that mean? That means that any events or conferences and stuff that we've already had for anyone, they'll stay on the table, and we're not going until September. But we have just decided that we want to downsize. When I went in the room and we were doing the negotiation, and they kept asking me, "Are you sure? This is what you're gonna do?" And I'm like, I hear God saying clearly that this is what we need to do. And I'm glad I followed the voice of God. I didn't know where we were going when I said we weren't staying. All I know is I heard what God said to me, and the Lord's opened so many doors, and we're thankful for those doors that He's opened up for us. Now, and so you'll be getting some announcements and communications, and our studio will be going in the new facility so that there's no downtime for any of our broadcasters. We've set up an additional studio space that's in the Arlington Professional Building, so that all of our broadcasters can do your podcasts and things of that sort without being impeded while we're going through renovation. They'll start next week working on all of the electrical and getting the electronics together. I'm a techie kind of church, so they'll be getting all of those kinds of things and working through that process. And so I have an amazing transition team. Now, let me say this to you. You that are partnered or pledged and said you would give, keep giving, because we still have the expenses of here for this month and next month and all of those wonderful things. And then we have the burden and the blessing of getting a new facility. And we're going to rent that facility for about 6 months. And then after 6 months, we will purchase the facility. And so we're excited about this transition. It's a new transition. It's going to take our debt ratio completely. It's going to lower it so we can put some money towards some wonderful other ministries, upgrade our television equipment, upgrade our network, minister this transition house that I've been wanting to do for men and things of that sort. So I'm excited about families being touched by the ministry. Now, let me tell you something else. So I need to make sure that you're aware of this, because people, I shared with them. So people have asked me, they said, well, Reverend, if you ever decide to get rid of anything, let me know. Well, I'm telling you, I'm going to be getting rid of stuff. We're going from a 40,000+ square feet facility down to a less than 15,000 square feet facility. So I'm going to be getting rid of stuff. I've already started doing stuff. We've closed our our beauty salon, and so we've gotten rid of all of the beauty chairs and all of those kind of things. I'm amazed at how many people just came in and they just flocked and got this stuff. And we're looking at one of our chapels, and so we're gonna do some things differently in our chapel. And so, if you've seen our television wall in there, it's a beautiful wall that we put up. We will be downsizing, so we won't need this massive wall that we've got. It's not an LED wall, but it's a television wall. It's an amazing thing. I think it was about $7,000, $8,000 for us to get it built and all it up. And so it's basically assembled. We just kind of take off the top board and put them all together and move them to where you are and drill them in the ground, and it's up and running. In less than a day, you'll be operative. So if you're thinking about changing the look of your church, it's definitely a purchase that I would, if I was you, I would consider making. It's wonderful. Everything's high quality. Anybody knows anything about me? I like high quality stuff. We're going to be getting rid of the sound system, which is subs and mains and monitors and digital mixer and snake and all of those kinds of things, and the equipment that go along with it. We're going to be downsizing. It's a necessity that we've got to do that because we just won't have any room for it. So I'm excited about how we will be able to bless some ministries and help some people. And so if you're interested, please hit us up. And then the streaming ability. We've got some really nice camera equipment for streaming, and the computers and all of the streaming and all of that kind of stuff. We will be getting rid of all of those kinds of things. And so if you're interested and you want to take it to the next level, I mean, you can do it in the studio or you can do it in church, really, is what we've used them in, and they're high quality. I mean, the picture quality is simply amazing. Everything that we've got, the visual quality is amazing. And so it's going to give you somebody's church and a wonderful opportunity to expand overnight. Truth of the matter, if one church decided to get all three of those things. Oh, and the lighting. Yes, the lighting. Yeah, the lighting is going to. The lighting in there, we're going to be doing the lighting. So, somebody could make me an offer and say, hey, we want all of it. We want the lighting, we want the sound, we want the visual, and we'll definitely get them in your hand. And we're going to be getting rid of the Hammond organ with the Leslie that's in there as well. So if you're interested, we won't be getting rid of the drum set or the keys. The space that we're going is a smaller space, but it will support those particular things. What I want to do, and that's for our small chapel. That's not anything in the main auditorium. We'll be transporting all of the things. We'll be getting rid of some chairs and some equipment and other things. So give us a call, follow up with us and say, hey, Bishop, I'm interested. I'm not going to do a lot of conversation. I'll let you come see it and see whether you want it and make us an offer for it, and we'll go from there. But 15-minute, 30-minute conversations. For somebody, it's going to upgrade your entire ministry overnight. And so, and it works because you've seen it work every week, and what we do. So we're thankful to the Lord. I want to be a blessing to someone. We priced it very well. Now we're not giving it away in our prices, but pretty much it's very affordable as opposed to the cost of what it would normally cost. So I'm excited about this expansion because this really is an expansion. Our studios are separating from the main studios. We'll have studios in the church in the new location and everything. Got a couple weeks to get things together and get it right we want to be in it by the first Sunday in September, and that's our goal, to have all of the techie stuff up and running, and so we're looking forward to doing that. Now, if you want to sow into this process, please sow seeds. If you're a broadcaster, just pay your bill. If you want to sow too, thank you, Jesus. You want to pay more than 1 month, please do if you can. We just want to make sure that we have a smooth transition of everything. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this next chapter. We're going to rent for about 6 months this facility, and the next 6 months, we've determined that we're going to purchase. Had the option to purchase it beforehand, and our board said, hey, no, let's rent for 6 months, and then we'll purchase. And so I'm excited about the next chapter of what the Lord's called us to do. And we couldn't have done it without many of you that stood with us and that are still standing with us, because we understand that we're a family and we're as strong as the next link that is working and pulling with us and holding us together. And so thank you for you that are plugged into everything we've done, from our media training to our stuff, and you've just supported us and allowed us to help you and help your ministry. As a bridge called to the body of Christ to cultivate people, I can't do it without you. And so I'm thankful for being a public ministry. So people might ask me, say, why you sharing all your stuff with people? Because we're a public ministry. We're on television, we're on radio, we're on everything. People are seeing us and people want to know what's going on. You know, I saw you there, didn't see you there. What's going on? What's happening? I'm going to answer your questions. If I answer your questions, you can't believe the lie that someone else will tell. And so I've learned the wisdom in that. And I don't have, someone asked me, they said, well, you know what, by downsizing, how does that affect you? Did it affect you? I mean, I want you to look at me. I want you to look at me clearly. I'm probably happier than I've been in a very long time. My budget ratio is going to change. Imagine paying $6,600 light bills. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I got friends of mine, their rent on their church or their mortgage is not as much as our utility bill was. So I'm thankful to the Lord. A load is being lifted off of. Having a mega facility that you're running and doing the kind of thing that we do, there's expenses that come along with it. And so post-COVID, things changed. And many churches are not wise enough to make the shift, so that you're spending every bit of the money that you got coming in, that you can't invest in souls and do ministries and outreaches effectively. We won't be that kind of ministry. We will continue to serve God's people. And we won't live the life of being showy, trying to create a show that's not a reality. Our reality is that post-COVID, things change. Our reality is, guess what? We're a very strong church because we're wise enough to make strong decisions to make us fit for our future, even though some may not like our now. I love you so much. I bless God for you. This decision was solely my decision. I had an option to do other things, and I think when I said it at the table, this is what we're going to do. Everyone was shocked. I'll be honest with you, I was too. All I know is I heard what God said and I answered, not knowing where we were going. Thank God we know now, but I didn't know then. All I knew is what God said. I want to give you this word of advice. Pastors, whatever you need to do to preserve the prosperity of the ministry, the integrity of the ministry, the wherewithal of the ministry, do it. Don't live in the show. For some of you, God may be calling you to virtual ministry. Others of you, your ministry may be brick and mortar. But don't allow brick and mortar to cause you to be out of order. Listen to the voice of God, do what God's telling you, and celebrate the move of God. You know, the benefit of that is that our church has grown differently. Virtually, we've grown virtually. I mean, every Sunday, 10 to 15,000 people sign on to listen to the word we preach. Go check it out, verified. Not just shooting noise. It's just true. People are listening and looking. Our virtual presence, thumbprint has changed, and it's changed. So I'm grateful to it, but I must be a wise steward. And so I'm grateful. Now, so if you're interested in some wonderful equipment, contact us. It's available. Love you so much, and you be blessed. Stand strong in the Lord and the power of his might. I'm gone.